Wild horses. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. That was my Mick Jagger impression. Impressive, wasn't it? And then, not Wild at Heart, not David Lynch's Wild at Heart, and the Willem Dafoe and Laura Dern scene. Say it. Say it. Say it. I think that was the right movie. That was another good impression, wasn't it? And then that clip in the Beastie Boys, wild man, you're wild. And I'm pretty sure Ren and Stimpy did that a couple times. Wild. But the point is, wild horses. Because the Bureau of Land Management, or the Bowel Movement, BLM, which is basically just another weaponized police force at this point, has been rounding up wild horses, which is their job, and has been. But there's also rules in the books that says you can't sell wild horses to slaughter. But there's some loopholes. Some loopholes, because there's wild horses in Utah, Wyoming, California. Do I want to say Nevada? I always forget the fourth one. So they're using helicopters and stuff to round up horses and then selling them for like $25 a piece, according to the New York Times article. And yes, I read the New York Times, even though legacy media is kind of disappointing at this point. They're not reporting everything. They're being very selective and very repetitive. And as a buddy of mine mentioned years ago, what happens to the stories that they just stop reporting? Does that thing stop happening? No, they just got bored of it. So they round up the horses and they sell it to some guy in Utah, apparently, for $25 a piece. And this guy's a failed livestock auctioneer or something. I don't know what he was. Go ahead. Can they not see my hand? Let's all go here. We all have official vehicles. And then he sells them to not a bidder, but somebody who wants to buy them. And the loophole is, if you don't ask, you don't know where they went. So these people are basically trucking them up to Canada and then slaughtering the horses and chopping them up into horse meat and selling them overseas. I don't know who gets chunks of horse meat. I mean, that doesn't sound that appealing. But then again, horses are kind of honored in the U.S. They eat them other places. They eat dogs other places. That's not really the point, though. The point is they're gathering up horses and slaughtering them and breaking the rules, basically. Not really breaking the rules, just loopholing, because you can pivot on the word knowingly. If you don't knowingly know that you're selling to a slaughterhouse, you're not breaking any rules. And the government's not breaking any rules because they are third degree removed. Oh, that's exhausting. I should probably stop doing that with my eyes because it looks like white eyes if you freeze frame it. And then I could do that for a freeze frame when I post it and really impress people. But there was some comments. I saw this first on Facebook. Facebook, of all places. And the counter comments were that wild horses destroy the environment and kind of take over the native species because they're kind of big creatures. So it's not necessarily a bad thing to cull the herd, even though there are experts that have been recommending shooting the horses with tranquilizers that basically make them infertile. But we don't want to do that. That would be too easy. And then we're also, what was the other number? The government is paying $56 million a year to hold the wild horses in pens that they've already gathered up in the past, because they can't sell them to slaughterhouses and nobody really wants a wild horse. And if they put them up for auction, for a certain number of weeks and nobody buys them, they've tried. And so that also eliminates, that's a loophole there. It's very fun, the details they've come up with. That might be all I have for now.